Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the end of the original trilogy of films, presumably what was going to be the last of the Indiana Jones films, and in some people's opinion, should have been the end of the Indiana Jones films, but that's neither here nor there. This is the 1989 film. It is 2 hours and 9 minutes long and stars Harrison Ford, of course. It is directed by Steven Spielberg. George Lucas co-wrote this along with Jeffrey Boehm and two more people. That's a bunch of people. Menno Meyjes? Okay, one other person. I don't know why George is listed twice, but regardless. And of course, co-stars Sean Connery as Indiana Jones's father, Henry Jones Sr. We get Junior a lot. Well, Indiana hears Junior a lot from Dad because he's Henry Jr. And even Sala doesn't understand this. It's a given, I think, now, for those of us who watch the films, that his name was Henry Jr. All this time, not Indiana. He wasn't actually named Indiana. And this film serves as a sort of a bookend, obviously, for the entire Indiana Jones saga until they made more. And it also answered a lot of questions about Indiana Jones's past and where he got the hat, where he got the whip, where he got his fear of snakes, and where he got the name Indiana. Well, if you don't already know, I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, that answer comes at the end of the film. Whereas the other three that I mentioned all get told in the beginning of the film in an action sequence that doesn't even involve Harrison Ford. It actually involves Indiana Jones, as played by River Phoenix, the late River Phoenix, sadly. He's actually the only person that I can think of who's played Indiana Jones on film, on theatrical film. There's obviously the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, where different actors at different ages play Indiana Jones at different points, and they're more, I don't want to say, they are educational, they're more historical, they have more, you learn about. He crosses over with icons throughout history, throughout mainly the 20th century, because he was, if I'm right, Indiana Jones was born in 1900, right? Yeah. Okay, 1900. Exactly 1900. That's how the story goes. I think we learned that in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. But anyway, we get a flashback at the very beginning of the film that gives us some background on what Indiana Jones is like as a teenager. Maybe a little bit an older teenager, but part of a scout group. And we get to learn a lot about what drives him. Oh, that's the other thing we learned. We learned about what drives him beyond, the inspiration his dad gave him, which is to make sure, when you find artifacts and things like that, they belong in a museum. Well, yeah, they do, and very often in culture, it belongs with the people that originally owned it, rather than, hey, England, I see you got a lot of artifacts from India, or everywhere else you had conquered. Yeah, maybe give it back to those people. That's a whole other story. But in this one, this is a much more fun and upbeat. Beside all the screamy slapstickiness of the much darker Temple of Doom, this is a much more fun, brighter, and it takes place in various locations. Rather than Temple of Doom was just Shanghai and India, this travels from California, where he teaches, to the middle of the ocean, the Southwest, Italy, Austria, and of course the Middle East. So we're going all over the place. What are they searching for in this Last Crusade? Well, it is the Holy Grail. Yes, not Monty Python. There's no King Arthur, but it does have, obviously, ties to the original story that both Monty Python and the Holy Grail and this film connect to. Just like the Ark of the Covenant, this is a biblical artifact, or the Ark of the Covenant is an Old Testament thing. the Grail of Christ, which he drank out of at the Last Supper, and it caught his blood at the crucifixion. All this mythological storytelling. It's an Arthurian legend, King Arthur, all these things, these night quests, everything else. Well, they're taking them as if they were real. Just like the Ark of the Covenant probably was real, but whether it has the power, whether it has the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments and can then melt your face off, well, that is as yet unfounded. The Holy Grail is, again, a mythological artifact, but it is not in this story. Obviously, they if you're going to put that MacGuffin out there, you're going to find it. It's just the way it is. But along the way, we get Indiana Jones having to rescue his father, who is very much an expert in this field. So, of course, the Nazis once again get involved. The Nazis are the big bad. It's an easy big bad to put in any movie. Nazis, evil. Easy. So, yeah. I guess blood-drinking child enslavers is also an easy bad guy. But, you know, it's Nazis, we all identify that Nazis, yes, all the Nazis, past and unfortunately present, evil. Can we all agree on that? Yes. But along the way, of course, there's a fetching blonde femme fatale that crosses Indy's path, and that's played by Alison Doody. She plays Elsa, and yeah. But really, this is the core of this is the interaction between Sean Connery and Harrison Ford as father and son, and it is breathtakingly hilarious. But the funny thing about this is that, you know, considering that Sean Connery was James Bond, both he and Indy, father and son, both get a very James Bond moment. Not with gadgets or anything else, but yeah, they're both in an action film. There's both a femme fatale that tempts them, and more than tempts them. Let's just say that. So yeah. I mean, you know, James Bond was always bedding the beauties back in the day. Well, this is very much. A kind of an easy, not obvious callback, but it still has that sense that James Bond is still in the house, even if he is pretty much a professor in this one, an older professor, the late Sean Connery. This time we also get Sala back, John Rhys-Davies returns, and Marcus, played by Denham Elliott, he also has a bigger role in this rather than just, hey, Indy, or hey, Dr. Jones, tell us, here's some information. Let me hook you up with these people who want to send you on a mission. Yeah, so he has a much bigger comedic role in this as well. So everybody pretty much does some humor in this between Sala and Marcus, father and son, both Dr. Joneses. So yeah, it's all good fun. We get snakes, we get rats, we get giant tank chase battle kind of thing, where the big struggle in Raiders of the Lost Ark was on a truck going through a jungle in the desert, an oasis, I guess. But in this one, we get a desert chase on a giant old tank. So yeah, lots of punching and flipping off. The guy who played the Nazi, he played a really good Nazi. Where is he? Michael Byrne. I think his name is Michael Byrne. He was an outstandingly evil Nazi. So kudos to him. Not like, you know, but yeah. This might be one of my shorter videos because honestly, this is. It's why I really love this film, and it has the flow and the action and much more humor than the others. It still doesn't compare to the original classic. By no means this is one that you want to skip. It is a proper, it feels like a proper goodbye to the character, even though that it turns out it really wasn't. And the way it was shot, it's still on film because it's 1989. It feels like a film that was made in the 1960s, like an action film, just the way it was shot, even just the interior stuff at when Indy is getting his mission, let's just say, from Donovan, Mr. Donovan, telling him that, oh, we're gonna see if we can find the Holy Grail. Your father went missing. Let's, you like giving him all this information. Just to look the way it's shot, it feels like I'm watching something that's starring Cary Grant when it just got colorized, just became color, and it feels old school. So way to go, Steven. It feels like one of those older films, even more so, well, in some ways more so than even Raiders. But Raiders, I don't know. I really, it's hard to. I don't know if it was intentional with Raiders, but here it feels intentional. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling as usual. So I only got 2 more days, maybe 3, to wear this shirt. So yeah, I only wear it at 10, 20 minutes at a time. It'll be fine. So yeah, honestly, this is a great way. If you're going to watch any of the Indiana Jones films, you're going to watch these 3: Raiders, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade. If you want to see them all, and you're not adverse to it, the final 2 are connected in a very important way that isn't revealed until the end of Dial of Destiny, or the end, or close to the end, I think. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But so let's just consider this next film that we're going to watch tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about tomorrow, as the next era in Indiana Jones. We're going to be watching Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. We've had Old Testament artifact, Indian magic stones, New Testament artifact, and crystal skulls, which are technically a real thing that exist, but their origin to some is a mystery. And without spoiling it, it goes a different direction than all the rest. No religious grounding in this one. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is what we're watching tomorrow on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you then.